Hey y'all, so in our last video you saw that we went on a little dinghy adventure and we dinghied from St. George's Harbor, where we're at here on the anchor, all the way up to the Blue Hole Hill Park. And then from there we went on an adventure and had some awesome lunch at Swizzle Inn and saw the Crystal Caverns and all that. Now, when we pulled up to the Blue Hole Hill Park, there was a little beach area, but there was nowhere at all to tie your dinghy off or lock it. So I walked around and looking for an area where we could tie our dinghy off and lock it so it'd be secure while we went on our little hiking excursion and lunch. But needless to say, there were no cleats, no anything, no tie downs. There was nothing for us to tie off to. So we did the next best thing. We found a hole that we could loop our cable through in some of the rocks that were there. Now it was all fine and dandy because when we pulled up there, the tide was low and the rocks were exposed and we were able to tie it off. The dinghy was secure. But what we didn't think about is when we came back a few hours later, the tide had risen and those same rocks that were exposed and we easily tied our cable through were now underwater and underneath our dinghy. So when we got back, we didn't think about the tide changing and the effect of the rocks being underneath the dinghy. We just hopped in the dinghy and got on our merry way. Everything was fine and dandy, y'all, until we got back here to Tela and we're getting ready to have us a relaxing afternoon and have a cocktail when I discovered that the good old dinghy was flat. So then what I very quickly realized was we had somehow managed to puncture a hole in our high-pylon, high-field dinghy amongst those rocks over there at the Blue Hole Park. So there's a little island over here next to the powder hole that we take Delilah to do her business while we're here on the anchor. So we took the dinghy over to the little island and pulled it up on the beach so that we could try to figure out where the hole was. So lo and behold, we found the hole. Our high-field dinghy came with this fancy-dancy little high-field repair kit for inflatable boat. It's real nice. Only thing is, didn't come with any instructions. So I thought, no instructions, no problem. How hard can this be? It's just a patch, just like patching a bike inner tube, right? Just get the patch, scuff it up a little bit, put some cement on it, good to go. So then we got the dinghy back here to Tela, called it an evening, got up the next morning. Yep, you guessed it. Good old dinghy was flat again. I'd never done repair on a high-field, high-pylon dinghy before, so my assumptions, and y'all know what they say about assumptions, so my assumptions were all wrong. It wasn't quite that simple. So I did a little research and I figured out the proper way to do a high-pylon inflatable dinghy repair. So today, I'm going to show y'all exactly what I did wrong, and we're going to fix this thing right. So let's get after it. So as y'all can see, right off the bat, my repair was done improperly on a number of ways, and I'll walk you through each thing that I screwed up royally. But as you can see, the edges didn't stick. So the first thing I have to do to this improper repair is get this old patch off. And you see, that should never pulled off that easy. So the first thing that I did, the patch was way too small. The patch is supposed to be about 1 inch allowance all the way around the hole. So I made a patch way too small. They say go big or go home when you're patching high-pylon. Make it extra big. The next thing I did is I had the patch completely upside down. Not only did I have the patch upside down, is I didn't scuff it properly. So you're supposed to really scuff up this patch and scuff up the area around the hole, scuff up the patch thoroughly good before applying your glue. And as if all that wasn't enough screwing up for one day, I didn't even let the glue cure properly, and I'm going to walk you through today of how to properly let the glue cure and set. So we're going to get this thing done right today, y'all. All right, y'all, so after getting that old screwed up patch off, the next thing I gotta do is get all that glue off and then properly scuff all the area around the hole where we're gonna put the new patch. All right, y'all, so that is another very important thing, and another thing that I totally screwed up yesterday. I didn't properly scuff the area around the hole in the high pylon on the bottom of the dinghy, and I didn't even hardly scuff the patch itself. Very important that you take your time, get some rough sandpaper. I use 60 grit. I scuffed up both surfaces really good. Now they're ready to be coated with the first coat of glue. So y'all, that is another thing I did totally wrong yesterday, is I used way too much glue. The professional guidance is that you need to use a very thin coat of glue and spread it out very evenly all across the patch. Yesterday, I just gobbed it on. Total screw up. y'all, we wait 10 minutes, and then after 10 minutes, we apply another coat of this here glue, and then we wait 5 minutes for that to cure, and then after that cures for 5 minutes, then we slap them together. And y'all, while we're sitting here waiting on this here glue to dry, it's a perfect time for y'all to hit that like and subscribe button. So on this part, y'all, you just want to use some type of scraper that's not too sharp and won't cut the hypalon. And you want to work all that glue all the way across in all directions. Make sure all your edges are stuck. Y'all, so after you get that all good and worked in, now you wait 24 hours. Don't put any air in it. Don't do anything. Let that cure for a full 24 hours before you add any air or use the dinghy. Make sure it's properly set. So tomorrow, after a full 24 hours, we'll check back in with y'all and show you how all that repairing did. Alright y'all, so here we are the next day. It's been a little over 25 hours since we put the patch on our high-filled hypalon dinghy, and we're checking it out here. So everything looks good with the patch. The edges, you should not be able to peel any of the edges back, and we cannot. It's firmly set. It all looks good, so now we're going to get the dinghy back into the water and put some air in it, y'all. Alright y'all, everything looks good. We got air in it. We're all carred, just like it's supposed to be. Alright y'all, so that's going to wrap up this fix and repair a hole in your dinghy video. Hit the comment section if you've ever poked a hole in your dinghy and let us know how it turned out. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see y'all next time on Sailing Tela. Y'all know there's an old saying happens when you party naked. Well, we certainly weren't partying naked, but sure did happen when our neighbors went to shore and their anchor started dragging.